Welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast with Anya Bohm, where we talk about all things paparazzi, team training, suggestions, interviews with elite leaders, and more, all to help you grow and explode your Paparazzi Accessories business to rockstar success.
Hello and welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast. My name is Anya Bohm and I am your show host. Today we're going to be talking about massive levels of action. Something that has been on my heart a lot lately is a quote by Grant Cardone. He says, "There is no goal too big, just an underestimation of how much action is required to attain that goal." Let's talk more about that today. Now, before we jump into today's training, head on over to paparockstars.com/massive-action, and that is where you're going to find all of today's show notes, the awesome call image we'll talk about in just a second. You can also share and listen again. Again, that link is paparockstars.com/massive-action. That show image that I was just telling you about is that quote by Grant Cardone that I just told you about, put on a really nifty background, so it's like a meme. That quote again is, "There is no goal too big, just an underestimation of how much action is required to attain that goal." Okay, let's jump into today's training. When a thought has been on my mind and my heart a lot like this one has, I know it's a message that I need to share with all of you. So here it is. Have you ever set a goal and then a few weeks later, or sometimes even a few days later, you're falling short and so you change the goal? Or you just convince yourself that you really didn't want to hit that in the first place. Now, this is a dangerous trap to fall into. Setting big goals is necessary to grow and achieve big things. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. Setting big goals is necessary to grow and to achieve big things. If you're only setting ordinary, mediocre goals, you're going to live a life that's average, ordinary, and mediocre. Is that what you want? No, we want the extraordinary. So it is essential that you set big, huge, massive goals, and then you do everything in your power to achieve them. Back to the quote from the beginning. There aren't any goals that are too big, just actions that are too small. We naturally underestimate the action that is necessary to achieve any given task. Take my basement for an example. After the flood we had last spring, I thought it would take a good weekend to clean everything out and then a second one to get everything put back together. Yeah, right. It took us 3 weeks to gut everything and clean it and get it all dried out and then all of that garbage hauled to the dump. And then another 3 months to get it all put back together again. Just the sheetrock alone took me hours and hours and hours for just one room. Complete underestimation. I know for a fact that I do the same thing in my paparazzi jewelry business. I figured that to become a director, I would need to talk to 3, maybe 4 people, and that they would be absolutely thrilled to join my team. So I thought within days, I would have ranked up. It took me 2 years. Why? Because I underestimated the necessary efforts. So what's the solution? Take more action. If you find yourself falling short of your goals, jump in with both feet and do 10 times what you were doing. Exceed everything you think you need to be doing. Instead of spending time trying to figure out what your quote unquote, quote, new goals should be, get on the phone, call your team members, do a flash sale or an impromptu live sale. Start taking massive levels of action so that you can have the massive results that you want. Look at people that are at the highest levels of success. Our top elite paparazzi leaders, millionaires, and people who have achieved success well beyond what we have yet to achieve, they have taken action. Massive, huge, and consistent levels of action. And this is why they are where they are today. Can you say that you're taking massive levels of action in your business? And if you are, how long have you been taking those massive levels of action? A day? A week? Take a minute and truly evaluate what you are doing to be successful. Make a plan and now crush it. Day after day, week after week. When you are taking huge, massive levels of business building actions day after day, your business will grow and it will explode. Let's take a look at another example. When I first started cooking, were my meals world class? Not at all. I mean, it didn't take long before I could make a killer bowl of cereal, but it did take a little practice. Now, when I was at college, I worked at a bakery. Were my first cakes display worthy? Not really. But the more I worked and practiced and tried, the better I got. I was able to sharpen my skills, refine my decorations, perfect my cinnamon rolls until I was a pretty good baker. Now, did this happen overnight? As much as I wished it would have, it didn't. So as you're growing your business, you are refining your skills. You're tweaking your abilities to sell jewelry, to grow your team, and to do live parties. You are learning from every event you do and every party you are a consultant at. Every Facebook post you make, you are growing as a leader, as a consultant, and as a business owner. If you want to grow faster, do more. There was a story I heard about a pottery class. The first day of class, the professor announced that he was going to try a different system for grading. Half of the class would be graded on quantity, and at the end of the year, he would bring a scale. So many pounds of pots would be worth an A, so many would be worth a B, etc., purely on quantity. For the other half of the class, they would be graded on quality. They only needed to create one perfect pot to get an A in the class. And so the semester began. The first half of the class got busy making pots day in, day out. The second half theorized and planned and plotted on how to create the perfect pot. At the end of the semester, an interesting fact emerged. The pots that were the most perfect were produced by the students who were being graded on quantity. While the other students were busy planning and talking and strategizing, the other students were learning through trial and error. They were perfecting their craft, honing their skills. So you want to be the best? Get busy. Practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you will be, and the faster you will grow your business. Okay, that's it for today's training. The show challenge for today. What can you do today to start taking massive levels of action in your business? Now, this is going to be different for everyone, and that's why I left it open as a question to you. What can you do to start taking those massive levels of action? Commit to doing that for at least 6 months and see how it affects your business. Thanks for listening in. Again, don't forget to head on over to that website, paparocksstars.com/massive-action. And that's where you're going to find everything from today's show. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.